Hi, hello, how are you? My name is Jodie. I am the Nocturnal Witch, and I thought I would do another Stitchcrafting episode. So that would be episode 3, which I'm pretty excited. I still feel kind of nervous before I film. It's very, I don't know, but I like sharing my stuff and talking to you guys or to myself. I noticed couple to 2 subscribers now, which I'm surprised. Thank you. I didn't think anyone would watch these, so I really appreciate people thinking I'm interesting enough to watch. I hope you find my content entertaining. I enjoy watching people's, what are they called, podcasts, things like that. I've been really into Rosina, I think her name is, Zens and Rogers, and I've been just watching like the whole series of her podcast because I like her. I like her personality. So anyway, we'll get stuck in, and I'll start with an FO. By the way, people are here today. It's Sunday. So everyone's home. The traffic's very busy. So I hope it doesn't pick up too much on the mic because it's very noisy. You will hear horns honking. But anyway, I thought I would do it today because my partner's not here at the moment. He's babysitting. So yeah, I thought I could do it today instead of tomorrow. So yeah, I'll start off with finish offs, sort of finished off, which is, so I think in my last one I mentioned about making my nieces and nephews a nanny blanket, and so I finished all the squares, I've done all the borders, and now I've just got to stitch them together and border them up. And so I was kind of religiously almost being monogamous with this project because my sister is due in sometime this month. I think she's getting induced, so I wanted to make sure the little fella, had a blanket as a nice little welcome to the world gift. So I did have a shopping bag. I really need to get more project bags. What shopping bags will do, it's recycling, right? Okay. So this is what I've got. It needs to be washed, it needs to be blocked, and I will talk about that. But it has, like, they're not huge, it's not a huge blanket, and it has a huge border because I think, what did I do? It was 6 across, 6 by 5 I ended up doing. And I thought, it could be a little bit bigger because I would like this to be, it'll be big enough for him and the smaller niece, but the other's getting a bit bigger. So it would just be kind of a lap blanket, but it's not a memento, right? So I did a ginormous border around, I can't remember how many rows. I did write it all down so I could replicate it, but it's basically, I think, single crochet and then treble, like 2 singles and then 1 treble and then 2 singles, or sorry, if you're UK that would be double and treble, but it's single, single and double in US terms. And then I just did little, because I thought the massive white border looked a bit boring, so I just did little triangle-y points at intermediate rows. So I guess it looks a bit kitschy. It looks nice on camera though, but I don't know. I will have to block it, most definitely, because some of the squares don't line up, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll block it afterwards, but now I realised I should have blocked the squares for it because I think with my mum's gauge and my gauge, it didn't quite meet up. And even though I was putting the border, some of her squares were a little bit bigger. Like her tension was really tight sometimes, or it was really loose. Not really loose, not super loose, but it could get really super tight. So I'm going to block it. I haven't weaved in the end, so I want to block it. That's why I wanted to show you before I did it, so you can kind of see the process. But I want to block it, and then I want to see the gaps. I want to see if I can sew them in as well. So I'm going to spray block it, maybe steam. I don't know. It's acrylic and cotton, so I don't want to kill the acrylic. But yeah, so that's done. So I want to see if I can block it, see if that will kind of smooth out, because it's kind of puckering in certain spots, and it doesn't look very nice when it's puckered. So I'm hoping if I straighten it out, pin, block, those puckering will come out. So I've started on the little chaps. In the bag. Little chaps blanket. I did start on the other three boys. There's 3 boys. Be 4 boys. But what I might do is, did I think of dash? I might have to do another one, because it started 2 boys, but it was 3 boys plus 4th boy coming. That's alright, because I've just got to do. So I did start stitching them together. That was so annoying. I hand sewn every square together. I'm like, oh, I should have just crocheted it, but I didn't want raised ridges, so I mattress stitched them. But now I figured out how to do it much neater. I might unstitch these and then block the squares, and then yeah, then sew them together after they're blocked. So that's kind of the only thing that's been finished. Everything else is projects that I've started whips. So I guess I will start with the main one. So it's becoming warmer. Like I said, it's September here in Australia, so I'm thinking loose cardigans for spring and summer, like in the evenings, and tops, things that will keep me nice and cool rather than warm. So I've been really working with like the acrylic or warmer fibers. So I started with this one. So this top's called the Venus top, I think. Oh, is that the right way? Yeah, just needs to be woven in. So I started that. It's just gonna be like a little halter neck crop top. You lace it. Where's the things? There's like little hoops, little holes, so you can end up making a lace cording, and then you just lace it together. I had 5 balls. I think they were 50-gram balls, but I wanted to make sure I made it big enough. It was Motivera bamboo cotton. Do I have a label? Oh yes, beauty. So this is the tag. It's a Spotlight brand. So yeah, this is back front, but bamboo cotton, and it is 70% viscose from bamboo and 30% cotton. So it's mostly bamboo cotton blend. It does feel very nice. It's very cool to the touch, which is perfect when it's really, really, really hot. It's about, I would say, 10 ply with a worsted weight. The only thing I'm worried about, which I'm quite glad, because I made it quite big, because I am quite a busty girl. Oh, look nice. So I might stitch it up a bit more here, because of the nature of bamboo, it will pull, it will stretch. So I've got to be careful with that. But other than that, hello again. I thought my partner hadn't come home yet, and I just would feel awkward filming in front of him, so I stopped. But he's still going to be about an hour or so away, so I've got some time, unless I ramble for too long. So, where was I? Alright, the top. So, I'll happily stitch it on. This is a really quick make, just because of the size of the yarn and the hook I was using. I think it was, I should have got my notes out before. Yeah, here we are. It is, I'm used a 4.5mm hook. And I thought 5 skeins balls, because it came in little balls with a cardboard ring, would be enough, but it wasn't quite enough. I ended up playing yarn chicken and lost, so I have to order some more of this colour. Hopefully it matches. I don't worry too much about dialects. I think it'll be fine. Maybe. It's a nice like purple grey colour. I think the colour's called, what does it say? Because there's a lot of, yeah, 70 meters per ball. Colour number 49. So yeah, started, where was I? Ran out of yarn to about there, and I was literally, I'm so annoyed, literally just like tidying up the border. It was just like do a single crochet around the edge, the whole thing, and then have to do like the lacing. That's it. So I'm annoyed that I have to buy one more ball. Probably won't even use it all, and then I don't know what I'll do with it. May use it for another top. So anyway, because I'm not want to put something down and then not do, pardon me, something, I started making another top, because I'm crazy, and just have all these whips, because like I said, I was furiously trying to make this blanket done before the little fella's born. So, and then once I was like, oh, it didn't take, like, the longest part for that, backtracking, because my mind's weird, but backtracking to the blanket, the longest part was stitching the squares together. It was so quick doing the border. So that's done, and I can do the others. Right, back on schedule. So I ended up starting another summer top, which is, I think it's called Chickadee. I love the pattern. If I figure out how to insert a picture of the pattern or the top, we'll do that. But I am making the Chickadee crop top by Hayley Bailey, who I mentioned in a previous video. I really like her patterns. They're very witchy, I guess, cottagecore. So I started it. It's kind of a slow process, because I will say, because this is also bamboo. It's 100% lyocell. It's the new boo in the colorway denim. I'll take that off. And I only, for some reason, I need like 4 skeins, and I only ordered 2, because not thinking I bought a whole bunch of the skinny cakes and bucker all of these, which is what I need. So what I will do, because Spotlight sells both the Motivera, because it's Spotlight brand, and the Nubu, I'll get them together because I got a sale again, so I'll get it. The waistband was very easy until, where is it? You have to sew it together, right? Because the construction of the waistband is interesting. You know how you're not supposed to, when you make a chain, make sure it's not twisted? You deliberately twist the waistband. I don't know if you can see very well. I've kept my stitch markers there just in case. So that's stumped me. I can do it a couple of times because I don't know if I did it right the first time. I think I've done it right. And then it's pretty easy pattern. It's just like extended half double crochet, US terms. The only thing I'm worried about is, again, because it's bamboo, it's going to stretch, but it's not stretchy, if that makes sense, like to be able to put over. I'm worried that it won't fit me, because I did kind of try the tube on and it was like massive as loose. I am making it a size XL, and I know US sizes are a little bit like an XL like a double XL here. But then when I did the chest measurements, measured up to like an XL, and I was like, what? So I don't know if I should frog it and make it smaller, but then it might not fit over my chest. Got some fibres. So again, it's really nice. I actually kind of prefer working with the Nubu over the Motivera. This feels a bit more grabby because, like, with bamboo, right, it's very silky. It's very much like a silk, plant-based silk, and it's very cool to the touch. I love bamboo. It's one of my favorite fibers. Perfect in summer. It's moisture absorbing, so like sweat. You can make socks. Summer socks. Though they might be a bit slippery. It's soft. It's drapey. It's gorgeous. But it does have a tendency to want to stretch, pull, like gravity pulls on it. It's quite heavy. This one's quite heavy. This one, the only thing is, which I forgot to mention, it was a bugger to work with. It's so splitty. I will say that. I don't know about knitting needles, but with a crochet hook, it's very splitty. Like, see here, there's no twist. It's just little individual threads at that point. Where the Nubu, I found a bit more easy to work with. I don't know if it's because it's a thinner weight. It's more of an 8-ply, a DK. So that might be why, but it just feels like there's a bit more texture, if that makes sense, a bit more grabby. Like, that's the thing with like wool fibers, right? They don't have slip. Sorry, they do. Yeah, no, they don't have slip. They're quite grabby, right? The hair follicles got little scales, so it grabs, where plant fibers generally don't. But the Nubu seems to be a bit more easy to work with. It was less splitty. It still wants to split from time to time because, again, it's very loosely spun. But it's yeah, it's much more easier. Making some weird faces. To work with. So I do need to get 2 more skeins of this and another ball for this. And then that will be done. Yay. And then I'll have 2 tops. And I'll be very pleased with myself because I haven't made tops before. I've made a cardigan, I've made scarves, hats. I did make a jumper for my niece. I hope my sister made her wear it last minute. I know I made it a little bit big, but I figured because I can grow into it and get a little bit more use. But she never sent me photos, so I don't know. More tags. Okay. This I showed last time. I think, what is that? I was gonna frog the Sanderson Sisters cardigan by Alt Knots when she did the crochet along last year. And I frogged it all. Started from scratch because I was not happy. The back panel was done, but I was not happy with it because it wasn't big enough. The mesh wasn't big enough. Anyway, so I did it. It took me like a couple of days. It was so quick. I mean, it's quite fiddly, thin yarn. It's like fingering weight. It's not lace weight. I think it's about 5-ply. 4-ply, 5-ply. Because it's made out of the, what was it called again? Hobby cotton twister. You know, the hobby cotton cakes that are really pretty. And anyway, I did some more. I changed it slightly from what I did because I wanted it to, because I did the sleeves again and then I did the front panels and back panels after that because then I knew what I was kind of doing, what the plan was, and I made it gradient. I'm so happy. It's not perfectly gradient because some of them I didn't realize that had little extra balls with the in-between colors, but like you can't really see it, like on this camera you can't tell it, but it just nicely fades, right? It's very pretty. Anyway, so I started stitching it together and I even had the sleeves on, and for whatever reason the sleeves were really tight at the top. Like the sleeves fit perfectly. Like, let's see if I can put this part on, make it like a vest. Okay, so because it's cotton, it has like no stretch. None at all. See, there's not much stretch here, which is infuriating. Whenever I can stand up. Let's see. Don't mind my partner's desk. He's so, oh, testicles. Okay, it's not as drapey. I think I've put on weight since I designed it, but it's nice. I mean, I want to put some ribbing here, but I'm thinking if I block it, because I was going to block it afterwards, but I might block it, this bit at least, the panels. God, that looks nice. It's going to be so nice. If I block it, maybe I can stretch it out a bit more, and I can stretch out the armholes and then sew them on and see if that helps. I mean, I did kind of stitch it all in one row, like continuously around in the round, and that might have been what caused the tightness. Where if I maybe seam it one way and then seam it separately under the arm, that might work, because that was the thing, like, because here I've got to sleep here, and if I it's quite tight, because I wanted it to be quite loosey and drapey around my fat arms. I mean, that's the thing, I always do my arms, my sleeves way too long, but I quite like it. Oh god, it's getting stuck in the ring. There we go, because the idea is then I could just like that. Yeah, you seeing it? Are you getting it? And that's what I mean, I made it quite drapey, but up around here, and it's still a bit tight, I guess because of the way I sewed it together. It's quite tight in the upper arm. Not here though. I'm hoping if I block it, that will fix it. Maybe. Hopefully. So I haven't touched that. I got so fed after like just bam 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 whipped it out again quickly, because it's just mesh stitch. So it's easy as. And then I was like, great, I can sew it together, it'll be ready. And then I put it in, like, this is too tight. I think I tried it on. So, and then I just stashed it back in there. So that's a UFO now. But I might go on like a blocking crusade. I actually want to go and block after I do this video. The baby blanket. Then I can show you on Instagram. I have Instagram, by the way, guys. I'm also known as the Nocturnal Witch on Instagram. So if you want to check me out, follow me. If anyone sees this video, please do. I love seeing your works and stalking people. So that's okay. So the main two whips in the moment is these two shirts, right? Which, I mean, like, all of them are stashed in this Hobby bag. I highly recommend this bag from Hobby. If you want to sponsor me, Hobby, I wouldn't say no. I would happily take you on. It just holds so much. Like, I've got bags of balls of yarn in there. I keep my notebooks, my little case for my crochet hooks and things. And it has pockets like everywhere, and little places to stick like hooks, and it's such a cool bag. And these are like faux leather. They're not even real leather, but they are so sturdy. Like, when I was at my sister's the other week, like, every time, because I had this sitting on like my suitcase, and every time the straps would get caught and dragged, and I was worried they were going to get scuffed, and they didn't. This is good faux leather. Look, nothing. And I was getting dragged on like asphalt and concrete. Amazing. Such a good bag. So I love this bag. It's my favorite project bag. It just holds so much. Look, so chunky. And I got it on one of their sales, because it is quite expensive, even on sale, but I highly recommend it. It's heavy duty, like canvas cotton. It feels nice. I'm gonna put patches on it. I wonder if oh no, so it's got some patches. If you have patches, Kayla, tell me. I want to know, because then I can put them on my bag. Because I would like to have, like, I know she has t-shirts that say like crochet's killer, and I would like that on my project bag, so I can jazz it up. Okay, so that's basically the whips at the moment. It's the two tops. I shouldn't write this down. The two tops, and the kids' blankets. And I'll talk about some UFOs that I've pulled back out. About a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I started on a cardigan for my partner. Because I thought he had nothing knitted. He just wears hoodies and things, and I thought it'd be nice. And I picked up, it was like a Millans bag from Spotlight, which is, it's really nice green, forest green, hunter green, whatever, acrylic. I don't know what it is. I do think it's a bit of 10 ply. And I decided, like, I got a fair way in. I did the back panel. Again, really simple pattern. I think I got it off Lion Brand's website. So there's the back panel with ribbing. Oh, if I fold, jeez. Ribbing. I did, what else did I do? A front panel, which I've left a stitch marker in for some reason. And I'm quite proud of myself. I don't know. I'll get to that in a minute. And then I must have started one of the sleeves, because I've done a rib cuff. But I thought I had enough for him. I mean, he's not a big guy. He's very tall though. So I thought I'd do like an XL, I think. And I thought I had enough yarn, and I don't. I only had these two. So I obviously was like, I've run out of yarn, and just stopped halfway through the process. So I've been looking online for a colour that matches this, and I think I found it. There's a Premier acrylic yarn that's 10 ply that has like this colour. So I just don't know if I want to frog it, because that's the only way that my tension will be different. I have quite loose tension, I think. So I don't know if I should frog it, continue where I'm going, or maybe, because if I got to get more yarn and it doesn't quite match, because it won't, like doing it striped with like black or like a dark charcoaly colour or grey. But I do want to finish this because I wanted it to be like a Christmas present or birthday present, I think it was, when I made it. And it's just sat on the shelf in the bag. So I've brought it down. So I'm like, hey, you need to finish this cardigan. Because it's pretty quick and it's quite an easy pattern, good beginner pattern. That I found on Lion Brand's website. And then I've been doing this, so I don't know if I can call this UFO. It's pretty basic. But I thought I'd share it with you because I started working with it again. But it's using up scrap yarn. So because I use a lot of acrylic and I know it's made from plastic, I don't want it to go into landfill. So I'm trying to use up as much of the yarn as I can. So, because I had so much leftover yarn when I did the like Nightmare Before Christmas cardigan, which I need to take a photo of and show people that, because I'm really proud of that. It's on the clothesline at the moment. I know, it's supposed to lay flat to dry, but it's fine. I stuck it in the washing machine too, and it's fine. But I'm making teeny tiny granny squares because there was a pattern that I saw on Molly Makes magazine years ago. It's huge. It's just huge, like queen size blanket, but made with tiny, so many tiny crochet squares. So I got inspired by that, and I got them in like just different shades of black, and grey, teeny tiny. This one is black and grey, so it's very goth, gloomy style, I guess. Blanket, just like that. But I did think in my madness last night, more like an epiphany, it would be really nice to get like some like dark green and like a dark purple and like a burnt orange, and mix, like just not have too many, but just little pops here and there throughout the blanket, so it's not just grey and black. I don't know, I think that sounds nice though. And I want to make it for the bed, so it'll be like a double size. It won't be full double because I can't be bothered, but if it covered like a coverlet that we can use to snuggle up in winter, that'll be fine. And then, so that's what I'm doing. This little bag's full of little scraps of yarn and black, and that's what I'll keep is just like a little. So I want to start stitching them together. I think I'll just single crochet them together, and just keep them in like a little project bag. But like any like little scrappy bits of black, grey, or the colours I mentioned, I can stick in here and just kind of work. Especially if I want something mindless, because I do like making granny squares because they're just so damn simple. So there's that, and then when the bits are too short to make a granny square, like another round or even a small round, like I said, that's why I've done some of the like little bit of colour, black, a little bit of colour, and then a black border again. I found out about these, so I'm making magic yarn ball of scraps, acrylic, mostly template, but it's all like greys. So I'm thinking when I get about 50 grams, 100 grams, I'll make like a small cow, and I think it will look so cool. It'll be like variegated but goth. So it's like the goth rainbow cow or something. It'd be fun. So I'm having fun just kind of adding little scrappy bits to my very gloomy looking ball of yarn. So I've been doing that, and I think that's all the whips and UFOs that have come out in and out, back in and out. What else? I wanted to talk about, because I just like rambling, some inspiration, ideas, projects in the future. Like my cross stitch that I just haven't gone back to. I like cross stitch, but the patterns are really boring. I find it boring. It's love hard, like geometric shapes. It's not even interesting to look at. And I think that's what's making it hard for me to go back and do more cross stitch, because while I enjoy the process, I don't enjoy the product I'm making. But I think I'll make it as like when I finish it, I will make it as a gift and give it to Mike. I think Mimi will like it. Mimi's my sister. And she's the one that gave me all that yarn in the video I just uploaded. So anyway, I bought, because I can't help myself, the last two most recent, I think, issues of Simply Crochet. They usually come with little knick-knack things. I have so many of these. Where is it there? Got another one. They gave me another. I mean, I get it, like, you know, because people are gonna pick it up and not, you know, just start crochet or whatever, or just started buying magazines. So they've given out another one. I haven't even used this because I don't like it. It's not very comfortable. This shaft is too short, but it's cute. Whatever, a spare crochet hook. But I don't buy it for the knickknacks. I buy it for the patterns. I'm waiting to see if they have like any Halloween stuff come out. That would be cool. So anyway, these two came both with like an additional pattern book, and one of them, I can't remember which one, it had like this aragorumi. Is that how you say it? I should show it. Oh, it's all the way there though. Now well, give me a second. I'll find it. Okay. So these two issues, one of them came with this. Oh, it's so freaking cute. So it's got these three guys, little crocodile. I love his little hat, his little beret. A koala and a quokka, which is suddenly very popular because they're kind of like a selfie marsupial, because I do look at this smiling, they're so cute. And a little swag man with his little cork hat. But I really want to make the quokka because he's just too adorable, and the crocodile. Anyway, So that came with that, with a lot of advertising. And then they gave, like, I think Berta is a knitting crochet marketing magazine. And it came with some patterns here, but I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that around. It looks cute. It wouldn't be hard to make because it's just a bunch of granny squares that you make into a vest. But this pattern does say, like, because it gets us being a bit old school, like knit the ribbing and like posh. I can do the ribbing in crochet. So that's a future project. I know I was going to focus on summery things now, but I think I've got yarn up there. Yeah, that one. In the last cube that I bought from like a $2 shop. That's not very nice, really. It was just when I was starting to get back into the mood after many stressful months back. So, and I didn't know, I was like, I'm gonna make a jumper, and then I didn't, but I like the colours, and I'm like, it's not very soft, so it's not gonna be like a really nice jumper, but I might make a vest where you can wear like a blouse or a top, t-shirt, whatever, underneath it. So I want to make that. I'm getting very dry throaty. Last bit of cold coffee. Yummy. Some other ideas and patterns I'm thinking of making. So I've got an idea when I bought, where are they? Well, 3 cakes. It was a skinny cake because I didn't think they'll be that big. I have no concept of size. I was thinking, oh yeah, it'd be like this little guy. Typical little cake, right? He's so cute. Look at the pretty colours. Anyway, I know what I'm gonna do with that, but I don't want to talk about that yet. But I don't think I'll need all this. But anyway, so I've got these ones. They're really pretty colours. I have an idea if they got like autumnal one. Oh, that would look so pretty with black. But anyway, so I've got this, and I bought 4 skeins. What feels like butter to make like spring. What is it called again? Cardigan. And I did a little sketching. I'm like, well, what do I want it to be? Do I want it to be like a kimono style, which I think would be really nice and loose fitting, drapey, or do I want it like a cocoon, like my cardigan used to be wet? I didn't make that. I bought that W, I think, but it's nice. But like you can, I haven't decided. I'm feeling more the kimono, I think. I don't know, but looking at, I was thinking the other day. One, I don't know if this is nice. It's very nice. If this would be super, because it's kind of micro fleecy, I guess. I mean, that's why I bought it. I didn't know what the texture would be, and now I wish I bought, like, if I saw it in store, I would have felt, I'm like, oh yeah, it's nice, but that's not what I want for this. I think it'll be too warm. I mean, it's polyester, which is like another type of plastic acrylic yarn. It is soft. But I don't know if it will breathe, right? Because we want things to breathe. I don't know if I want to mix this with like cotton, maybe. I've got heaps of that Bernat softy cotton that I saw at Big W, and I just bought it because, like, wow, you don't see this in Big W. But now I'm looking at also the colourway. I'm like, do I like the black with this? Or because this does have some grey, I was thinking either maybe getting charcoal black or a dark grey. And that might look nice. It's not very springy, but I don't care. I like the colours. And it reminds me of an Aurora Borealis. And it's very nice. This is very nice, I will say. And again, I know why they're so expensive, because you get 727 meters. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, this is 100 grams, 199 meters. So just under 200 meters. And this is like 4 times that. It's 250 grams. So you get your money's worth. I will say that. And I'm more than have got my money's worth, but I can make presents or something. Actually, I might make the cow I was gonna make for my sister. With that, one of those cakes, that'll be plenty. And I think she'll like that colour. Also, I was a bit naughty and I was like, I'm not going to buy any more yarn because I don't have any room. Really, I've stashed yarn everywhere. In the corners up there, that's running low. I've had to put it all in bags as well. I mean, I've got that one sack because I bought yarn from Warehouse, and they're very nicely put in organza bags, which apparently is how you should store your yarn, by the way. Something about moss. But anyway, the mould here in Sydney has been terrible this year because of how moist and damp it's been. It's been very wet here. Last summer was really wet. I mean, we had floods, multiple floods. Some places flooded like twice, which never happens. I mean, we do get floods. You know, we are the land of flood and droughts and flooding rains. But nothing like that. I've never seen it like that. But anyway, even here in where I live, it was very humid. It has been very humid this year, and there was mold growing on everything that the sunlight didn't touch. And I still need to do my walls, which I'm not going to show you because that is gross. But my partner did because he's very tall, and I'm like, darling, could you please clean them? Because they had like green mold growing in the little nooks. You know, it's worried about things getting wrecked, especially my yarn. So I was just like, I'm gonna put it all in bags. So that's what I've done to hopefully protect it from the moisture. But I also want to get some like cedar balls or something so I can protect it from going, I guess, stale or like moss or something. Anyway, but where was I? I'm going on so many tangents today. I'm so sorry. My mind goes from one thing to the next, and then I'm sure you lose track of what the hell I'm saying. Anyway, so I told myself, going back on track, I told myself I wouldn't buy any more yarn. Try and use the stash I got, because remember, I got a whole bunch given to me by my sister, which I think I'm going to use a lot of that to make projects for her family. I was already thinking of making her part with the wool, because again, I don't use wool. My partner doesn't wear wool. Making her partner maybe a hat. I don't know, but also people are lazy and don't realise, and they just chuck things in the wash, and wool shrinks or felts. So I don't know, I'm gonna do that. Or maybe I will felt it and give them like felted slippers or something. That'd be cute. But anyway, I keep rattling off. So I told myself I wouldn't buy any yarn, and then I went and checked out Hobby Sew, which is like another craft store, smaller than Spotlight, at least one here where I live, because I don't live near a Spotlight or a Lincraft. But they have a Hobby Sew in the shopping centre right up the road from me, and they used sell mostly fabric. It's like mostly, because obviously Hobby Sew is mostly aimed at like sewing. People like to sew, but they do have some small section of yarn and needles and crochet hooks, and they sell Addy knitting machines, but they're quite expensive. But I want them, I really do. I want one. I want to make socks. But I don't want to be bothered to learn to knit again. I'm not very good at it, I don't think. I've tried it. I learnt that before crochet, and it took me a year to figure it out. So anyway, that can be a story time, maybe. Anyway, I was there. God, going off topic, and I was just browsing around. I think I went to pick up. Oh, what did I actually dye? I wanted to do some dyeing, so I picked up some red dye. I have plans because I bought some clothes, and I didn't like the colours. I liked the shape, but I didn't like the colours because one was like a sagey green, which is nice, but it needs to be darker. And I bought this dress that I couldn't get. It did come in black, but I couldn't find it anywhere in black. So I'm like, fine, I will buy the size I want to buy it in, because I want it to be quite oversized. And it is a pretty gingham dress, but it's just not me. It's like beigey brown colours, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna dye that black too. So, but I'm thinking of keeping, if I can do it right, keeping the gingham so that it's like a grey black. That'd be nice. So anyway, I only wanted to get dye, but I thought I would check out the yarn as well, and I found this. It is a tiny skein. It's only 50 grams. It's hand dyed. The yarn's called Cleckheaton, which is an Australian yarn brand. It's kind of upper tier, like it's all, I think, part of the same company. So there's like Heirloom, I think it's called Heritage Yarns or something, the mills. Anyway, they own Heirloom, Panda, Patterns. I think Patterns was the original Australian company. I don't know, because you guys have Patterns as well in UK and America, so I don't know. But anyway, Patterns and Cleckheaton. Most Cleckheaton yarn has a little bit of wool in it, or mohair even. So it's like, you know, mid-tierish. It's not like luxury yarn, but it's not stuff you'll get at Big W. Let's say that. But I found this, and it is gorgeous. So it's called Cleckheaton Brushstrokes. It's hand dyed in India. 5-ply yarn. But what makes this very cool, because as someone that doesn't use animal fibers, I don't get to buy fancy yanks of hand dyed yarn. But this is 50% nylon and 50% acrylic. So this is my acquisition from my yarn pan. So it's 50 grams, 128 meters. So I'm very excited. This colorway is called Wisdom. It's so pretty. Like, I don't even have a ball winder or a sweep or anything, because I'm like, I do want to get some hand-dyed cotton, because people will do that. Not many. Something I will say to dyers, hand dyers, can you please do plant-based or vegan hand-dyed yarn? I guarantee people will buy it. But anyway, isn't this pretty? And it's very soft. And also, like, because some people have wool allergies, so they can't buy fancy hand-dyed yarn. But if you make other alternatives for these people, they will buy it. I might even get a hand dye. I have thought about it. Maybe. I don't have room. Or time, or bother. But this has some, anyway, back to this. This is so soft because of the nylon. But it has like these pretty like Marlowe. That's a bit fancy, isn't it? Marlowe shades, and then like these blues, and I really like it. And there's greens and yellows and mustards, and I don't want to untwist it. See if I can go to another one. This one I think is my favourite, because some of it has gone mixed, right? The blue and the pink, and it's made purple. So I don't know what I'm going to make with it. I have got one idea, because it's sort of very nice cardigan. Very, I don't know, I don't want to say mummy, I don't want to insult the designer, because it's Hannah from Crochet Cottage, and I love her. She's a very sweet person. Anyway, I saw she had this really cool like granny strike pattern that was like made with hand dyed yarn, and it looks gorgeous, and I've seen people's variations, like that's nice. So I'm thinking, and that she's got one in DK, but I want to make it in 5-ply, because I think it'd be nice, light, drapey, because she lives in Florida where it gets hot, and it gets hot here. So anyway, I want to make that, and I was thinking of getting, there are other colorways in this. There's a couple I want to get, and then I'm thinking of like intermediate, like, because it's small skeins, hence like grading it with like grey or black or whatever, and I think that will look very nice. So I put them stashed away. I didn't show my partner because I'm just like, no, I'm not buying any more yarn. I don't have any money. I have a little bit of money. So I bought that, and they were quite reasonable too. Like, hand-dyed yarn can be quite expensive, and that was $11.50, like Australian, which someone's like for 50 grams, which is quite expensive, but it's hand-dyed, like individually. It even says on the back of the label, note, every skein is individually hand-dyed, variation will occur, dye lights do not apply. So it is actually hand-dyed, people. But I've seen it between $10 and between $10 and $11.50. That's the most I think I've seen it for. I think Lincraft sell it for about 10, so that's pretty good for hand dyed yarn, I think. And I want to splurge on something nicer for myself instead of like cheap acrylics. At least I do want to start buying recycle yarn, because I do feel kind of bad about, like, obviously wool is renewable, but there's issues with that. Well, not renewable, I guess it is kind of renewable, but it's also biodegradable, but plastics aren't. So I do want to start, if I'm going to buy acrylic, maybe buying recycled. I don't know, that might be something I'll do in the future. But is that everything? I felt like that went very quickly. I don't know if you want to sit in here and listen to me ramble. So what did I do? I went through, I sort of finished off my webs, my UFOs, talked about the future patterns, and acquisitions. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, that's weird. Let's see. I haven't been watching a lot. I did watch Chobits, which is an anime, and it's very cute, but also very much of its time. It was like in the mid-2000s. I remember when it came out, but I didn't get to see it because young and didn't have money. But I watched it in a couple of days, and it was quite cute. The ending was a bit weird. And then I watched the name Pula Magi Madoka Magica, and it's a magical girl, because I like, funny thing, I like magical girl genre anime because I think it's cute and cool, and secretly on the inside I'm a little fairy cookie weeaboo, I guess. I watched that, and that was not what I was expecting. I knew it was supposed to be dark, like a twist. It's a twist. I won't spoil it, but it has a twist on the genre, and I like that. Subvert my expectations. Very dark. I don't know if I was in the mood for like grim dark things at the moment, because at the moment all I've been watching is crochet and knitting stuff and hauls, because that makes me feel happy about the world. But I enjoyed it because I watched it all in one evening, so it must have been good. Anyway, I think it's time for me to shush and leave you to the rest of your day. So if you have come by and watched this, I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you for watching, and if my subscribers, if you watched it, thank you. That makes me very happy, that I can just share myself and what I love doing with you guys. So I really appreciate that. Anything else? No, I think I'll leave it there. So you guys have a lovely day or evening, wherever you are. I hope I can make your day a little bit better if you've had a rough time. I will say this, please take care of yourselves and each other. I think we really need to do that. And take care of the furry, scaly, creepy crawly, feathered friends, if you have any. Love them, because they love you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.